This is a quick tutorial on how to sew a button on with your sewing machine. Janet should actually be doing this because she kind of like invented this way back when, but I'll show you. First of all, you have to put the correct foot on your machine. Your standard foot's going to come off. You lift up your presser foot, you press the little button in the back. Most of us have that little button in the back. You press it, the foot drops off. All right, just move it out of the way at that point. And then here comes the mystery foot. Probably all of you have one of these little feet that came with your machine, and you've always wondered, what the heck is that thing for? Well, it is for sewing on buttons. So you see the little bar here, and over here there's little holes. Not holes, but a little groove right there. So you're going to put the foot underneath the machine, line that bar up with the little groove, lower your presser foot down. If it doesn't click right into place like mine did, press the little button in the back and it will click into place. And now your machine is ready to sew on buttons. Now I'm going to use my cute little shark fabric here. All right, and I'm going to show you two totally different size buttons, one with 2 holes, one with 4 holes. Let's start with this big button first. You need to put your button underneath the foot so that the 2 little holes are lined up as far back in the little blue, between the little blue feet and right in between the blue feet, and you lower your presser foot. And then the important thing is you have to set your machine up with the proper stitch size and length. So let me go over here and show you that. Let me get it someplace where my shaky hands don't mess things up. Okay, so now my machine is electronic automatic. I can press this little cute button right here. I can hit 21. I know that that is the proper stitch for doing buttons. And you can see right here, there's a little button picture on my screen. But more importantly for you that don't have an electronic machine, you want to notice that the stitch length is at 0. And the stitch width is at 3.5. And most buttons, that distance, this is your stitch width, the distance in between the holes in the button is the same size, whether it's a small button or a large button. So again, your stitch length is at 0, your stitch width is at 3.5. Okay, so we're going to go back over here. And before you hit your foot control and make your machine start going, you want to test out that your needle is going in between the holes, not onto the button where you would break your needle. So I'm using my hand wheel on the right hand side. I'm rolling it toward me. You always roll toward yourself, excuse me. And you'll see here the needle went to the left hole properly, it went to the right hole properly. So now I don't have to worry about the needle hitting the button and breaking my needle. And now I can use my foot control. Now my machine stops after just a couple of passes, so I always do it a second time. Okay, and that was like 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6, so 12-ish back and forth. Now you just raise up your needle, raise up your presser foot, and your button is sewn on. And you can trim your threads. Whoops, dropping my little clipper here. Trim your threads top, bottom. Okay. You can trim them, or you will trim them much better than that. Now I'm going to show you this little tiny button with 4 holes. And believe it or not, those holes are in the same distance between. And me and my shaky hands, a little harder to set those into place. But again, your holes are as close to the blue plastic as possible and right in the middle. Again, I will test to make sure that the needle is going properly in the holes, not smashing into the button. And at that point, I can use my foot control And I'll do it again. Now for a 4-hole button, I don't trim the threads. I raise up the needle, I raise up the presser foot, I move that button a little bit. Don't mind those little scraggly threads in the way. We can get rid of them when we clip. I test again to make sure, using the hand roller, again, rolling always towards you. Don't know exactly why, but if you push the wheel away from you, it can ruin the timing on your machine. My needle has lined up properly with the holes. And again. Okay. And I'm raising up my needle, lifting the presser foot, and voila! There's your 4-hole button. So good luck, everybody, with that. May the force be with you and you don't break a bunch of needles. And good luck making headbands.